What's up, everybody? Welcome to Rashonology. I am your host, RJD. Listen, we are coming to you with another video. This one ain't going to be that long. This is going to be a short one, but I think it's very telling and very interesting how I've been looking at some of this, and I saw a video on it in the comments, and this was very interesting to me. So we're going to sit back. We're going to look at this. This is a very short video. It's only like a minute or two long. Shout out to this content creator, and a lot of people on two different sides of the fence with this. So we are going to look at this video about a mother telling her son to stop crying, and I don't understand why everybody's so angry about this. This is crazy. So as always, y'all know what time it is. We have a video, we look at the video, and then we talk about the video. So let's talk about it. Let's see what we got going on here.
The tears.
Beautiful.
I don't got time for that baby stuff. Stop it. Stop the tears.
Beautiful.
Stop it. I love you. But you gotta
She obviously don't.
be a big boy.
Now look, when it's any topic.
All right, so that's a very short video, and shout out to this content creator on TikTok. Go shout out to him, subscribe to him, as always. But this is very I'm struggling to find what the problem is with this video, but let's hear what he got to say.
Topic that involving kids, I'm gonna get very passionate because, man, listen, I highly dislike people that's in the ages 43 to 60 years old.
So he don't like millennials, 43 to 60. This guy's talking about he don't like people 37 to 60. For what reason, I don't know, but he's saying that this mother is pathetic for telling her son to stop crying. That boy is little. He looked like he about 6, 7, 8, something like that. So yeah, I'm not understanding this. So let's hear what else this guy got to say.
Them are some of the worst people ever. Now,
and he got a mean lisp, so we're not going to talk about the lisp. We're not going to do that.
Nope.
Stop it. Get some help.
This is also horrible parenting. And now listen, everybody got different parenting styles. So I'm not trying to come at her parenting style because she could be doing worse, like putting her hands on him. But
he's saying this is horrible parenting style. I don't see what's so horrible about it, but okay, come on.
A lot of people got this mentality that's really ignorant, that boys aren't supposed to cry or show no emotions, but then wonder why so many men that are grown now crashing out, doing all type of stuff that appears to be crazy. That's because they never got those emotions out. Because why? Oh, boys ain't supposed to cry. Oh, this and this and that. And y'all are weird. People.
So he's saying boys ain't supposed to cry, this and that. And he's saying that's why people end up growing up and crashing out, because they got to hold in their emotions. Okay.
Forget a thing. And this is for every type of situation. Everybody forgets this one word, balance. Everybody always think like, oh, if you don't beat your kids, they're going to run over you. Oh, if you gentle parent, then...
you don't necessarily have to beat your kids now to get your point across. But, you know, there's levels. There's levels.
They're going to be bad. And it's like, no, you can be a parent where for certain things you can be stern, and then for certain things.
All right, I can't with this guy. All right, so let's start from the beginning.
Stop it. Stop.
So shout out to her. First of all, this guy's take, that's an L. It's an L.
Nope.
At the end of the day, this kid, like I said, he's about maybe 5, 6 to about 8, and she's telling him, stop that baby stuff, stop crying. But then she throws in the I love you, but we gotta be tough. And at the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with that. Kids are gonna cry. Kids cry. It happens. But especially with little boys have to know that it's okay to be angry. It's okay. Some people cry when they're angry. I mean it happens, but they have to know it's okay. But it's okay to you want to cry, go get yourself together, and then we gotta regulate our emotions. And I think that's the thing, especially with boys, they need to have their emotions regulated, because when a little boy becomes a little young adult, and then an adult becomes a man, and his emotions aren't regulated, when he gets emotional, if that's not regulated when he's a child, he'll get emotional and shoot somebody in the face. He'll get emotional and go have a fight. He'll get emotional and go do some serious harm to somebody because somebody disrespected him or because somebody did something to him. No, aggression and anger and all of that, everybody has those emotions. But she's doing the right thing. She's like, listen, you whatever, and we don't know the context of why he's crying. So I mean, we don't have that either. He could be crying because he got an F on the test. Could be crying because he got into a fight. We don't know. We have no idea. So at the end of the day, his a lot of times too, kids will cry because they just want that warm hug. So they'll go to mom and cry because mom gonna give you a hug and say it's gonna be all right. You cry to your dad, he gonna be like, yo, straighten up, bro. get over it. But as boys who are going to grow up to become men, they need that, because when you get out there into the real world and you don't have your emotions in check, that ain't going to go well for you in the boardroom. That being all emotional about everything ain't going to go well for you in business or in life. You got to get yourself together. You can't be grown and then be crying because somebody got the position over you and then you crying in the middle of the job. So there's nothing wrong with this. It starts early. Little boys, they got to be tough. The world is going to beat little boys up because little boys grow to become men, and the world does not give a F about men. Men got to go out there and figure it out. Men got to go out there. Now, that doesn't mean they don't have support. And that's the thing. This guy talked about balance. I'm all for balance. Yes, you got to teach the kids about basic respect, make sure they're moral, but you got to also teach them that aggression, that violence, that's part of being a man too. Because if somebody jumps up in your house, you're going to have to get very aggressive and very violent very fast. So you can't train the aggression out of the men, train the violence out of the men. You have to teach them to be a monster when a monster is necessary. Because sometimes you might have to fight for your life, and being soft ain't gonna cut it. You're gonna have to let it all hang out. So the problem is a lot of boys, they don't have that other side, and they don't have the structure and the discipline to get their emotions in check. So when they get mad, it's a fight. It's a I'm gonna shoot you. Because they don't know what to do with that emotion, instead of just taking it. You feel through it, you go through it, and then you use your brain, and then you adjust accordingly. This mom telling this kid to stop crying, we don't have time for that. It's going to teach him to be tough, because you got to have thick skin. You got to be tough out in the world. And people want to act like toughness is not needed out in the world. This is a little boy. He's not a little girl. He's a little boy. He's going to be a man one day. Might have a family of his own one day. He's going to have to be tough. And it starts here when they're little. Because the older you get, the harder it is to get that. You got to clear through all of that stuff in your mind and get the necessary stuff to get your mind right. So, yeah. When I was a kid, I cried. My mom was the same way. What you crying for? What you crying for? Ain't nobody coming to help you. Nobody's coming to save you. So are you going to cry or are you going to solve the problem? And that's basically with these self-defense and these kids getting these uh, karate and boxing and all that. Somebody pounding on you, and you're in a boxing match. The trainer, your coach teaches you what you're gonna do. You're gonna let them pound on you, or we're gonna figure this out. You're gonna revert back to your training. You always revert back to your level of training. Are you gonna cry about it, or are you gonna let them? You're gonna let them get you? Okay, you lost the race. You sad, you're upset, and there's nobody saying you can't be sad and upset and you can't cry. Something happened and you get emotional, you cry, you lose a loved one, you may have lost the championship game. You're gonna be upset, you're gonna cry. Nobody is telling children or kids or anybody to just hide all of these emotions and have them buried and bury them. No. If you gotta talk to somebody to get it out, because you can get it out. You can journal to get it out. You can talk to somebody to get it out. You could talk to a relative, somebody you can confide in, your mom, your dad, whoever, your spouse, whoever, your sister, your brother. You can get it out a number of ways. But once you get it out, now what? Are we going to sit and we're going to continue to cry, or are we going to find a solution to the problem? And I think that's the part that's missing here. And she also told them, like, I love you, but we gotta stop it. We stop that crying stuff. So saying this lady is pathetic for telling her son, like, you got to toughen up. I don't see how this is pathetic. That's kind of crazy to me. And the comments are kind of crazy too. The comments are like, oh, stop allowing boys to not cry. She's a bad mom. First, we don't know the context of what's going on. We just know this little 2-second clip. But like, I like this comment. Kids need to believe bad emotions are okay, but what's next? Teach them to control. That way, there's a time to cry and a time to listen. Exactly. Like Don DeMarco for that comment. No crying for no reason. And then somebody saying this guy's soft as hell. Yeah, this is crazy. I don't understand why he would even make this video saying that this lady is pathetic. Like that's kind of wild to me. You have to, especially with boys. All these women and all these girls talk about men are not the same. Men are so emotional. Men are this. Men. This is why the men of today are not the men of yesterday, and are not the men before that. Because some of my uncles, they were stoic. They did. I don't even think I see my grandfather smile when I was a kid. Like, he didn't smile much. So it's like, we cannot continue to baby these kids, because when they get out into the world, they get swallowed up. They get swallowed up and spit out. They got to be tough. They got to learn to go through things. That's why sports is great. That's why karate is great. That's why wrestling is great. That's why boxing is great. Anything like especially for boys, anything physical, even if it's something in regards to AI or something like that. At the end of the day, boys need to know that they have to control their emotions. You feel what you feel, but you control it. You control your anger. There's a time and place for anger. There's a time and place for smiling and joking around. There's a time and place to get serious and buckle down. And listen, if you lose the championship game and you cry, ain't nobody gonna be mad at that. Ain't nobody gonna be mad at that. We don't want robots. That's ridiculous. But this is how it starts on teaching boys like this. Yeah, it's okay to cry for whatever happened. All right, but you got it out. Now straighten up, stand up straight, chest out, chin up, and let's go out there and face the world and do better next time. Get better. So I don't know what the hell's up with this content creator. He's bugging, but we got to do better, because this young man is he's gonna grow up one day, and what he's getting now is gonna translate over to what happens when he gets grown. Want to know why so many people get shot on a daily basis because people are out here running off of pure emotion and not using their brain. They're just impulse. So that's all I got for y'all. Let's do better. I'm out. Peace.